February. Who knew?
Who knew?
It
I
just
didn't
came
know.
around like that. We're into our next club theme, and I'm really excited to bring the rise of the dark grapes.
Oh, it sounds like something mysterious.
It's like Phantom of the Menace, but really it's the rise of the dark grapes. Okay? So, with you Star Wars people, where are you, Carla?
I don't really get into Star Wars, but I do get into grapes from Champagne.
One of the greatest things that's happened in, the last 200 years.
It's not for me. So, you all know this, you club members. Microphone. We have Chardonnay, white grape, Pinot Noir, red grape. We have Meunier, red grape. Meunier as a word, just for those of you who don't know, translates from French to English to the word miller. And the reason that it's called the miller is because the grape leaf has a white flowery coating on it, and that's how they identify it. So you've got Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, the two black grapes in Champagne. So we're leading with these guys this month.
It was actually identified by a Colombian viticulturalist. That's completely untrue.
It's the white
I
batter
thought
on the
I'd
leaf.
just throw that out there.
I would have believed that.
You would have.
Close.
If you have enough conviction and you hold a straight face,
you can do a live or anything.
you can do it. You can do it.
So this month we're focusing on the presence of the red grapes in dominance in the wine and how they look.
Stop licking. Tango. Every now and then, you stumble across a grower or a producer that's a little low-key, but high quality. That is David Pehu from Pehu-Simonet. He's based in the Montagne de Reims. He's got some of the best vineyard holdings, about 7.5 hectares, if you can possibly imagine. So we've got Verzenay, Grand Cru, Verzenay, Grand Cru, Mailly, Grand Cru, and Le Mesnil-sur-Ager, Grand Cru.
Who do you have to sleep with to get those kind of parcels, Cyrille? I mean, seriously, this is impeccable fruit.
Well, I imagine David would be a very lucky man. Now, he doesn't use any of the Chardonnay. I think he sells a lot of it off because he's Pinot Noir, rise of the black grapes.
He's
grower.
a specialist. He's a specialist.
Let's focus. Let's drill it down. Now, the label is fantastic. You can see, we'll get into the wine, but he's got lots of different plots, and we're going to look at one of those plots.
So it's a Lieux?
It's a vintage Verzenay plot.
Okay.
So not a Lieux.
Exciting.
Mm-hmm. So pouring this wine, it was like pouring Versace gold. It was so golden. It was so deep in color. You can see it's pure Pinot and of Grand Cru.
But looking at it here, it's magical. You've got this beautiful golden intense color, as you say, but you've got this tiny stream of fine bubbles. Now, for those of you who don't know this, as the wine ages in the winemaker's cellar, step one, we turn it into a white wine. Step two, we add a second dose of yeast into the bottle for secondary fermentation. The longer that champagne ages inside the bottle, the protein of the wines are changing and you're getting a finer bubble, smaller bubble. So you can see this tiny, Tango is barking at us under the table, Cyrille, and he wants some champagne.
Bless him.
Stay Tango. You've got this tiny bubble, so I can see that we've got significant aging. What is the aging cycle on the wine?
So the vintage is 2013. It was disgorged in February 21. So we're looking at a good 7 years thereabouts.
Wow.
He uses a combination of oak and stainless steel. He doesn't use any malo in his wines. He likes the freshness.
Can you
he likes
explain
that tang. Malo. Yeah, of course I can. So there's like a few different fermentations, right, in champagne productions. The first one, then there's the second one, and in between the first and the second one, there's sort of like a third one, but it's not really a ferment, it's a conversion.
It's a conversion.
And we're talking about malic acids, the green apple acids, and there's a bacteria that's introduced, or a bug introduced, to just chomp on the malic acids. They love it. It's like a treat the whole day long. Chomp, 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 chomp. There's a great little drawing
Yeah.
of these little lactic poos popping out the end of the malic acid, chomping. It's actually really quite cute. But what it's trying to say is the byproduct is the lactic acid, which is a creamy acid, which is the stuff that is makes wine more approachable early.
So this wine, no malolactic fermentation.
We want
so
longevity.
We've got long-term aging potential.
Yes.
We're not converting the fruit into something that's different to where it started.
Oui.
What is the cepage?
So it's 100% Pinot. It's all from the Grand Cru of Verzenay. The plot is Les Crayères de la Voie des Reims.
Beautifully pronounced, Cyrille. So we've got an amazing producer.
You can shake your head too and
a
be like
Pinot Noir
eyebrows
specialist.
up.
You've got to own that. If you're going to deliver a vineyard like that, you've got to go for it.
Actually, if you've got a moustache, you could twindle the ends. Twirl the ends.
Twirl the ends.
You know.
100% Pinot Noir, 7 years aging on lees.
Yeah, thereabouts.
Yeah.
And 0
Grand
Malo.
Cru and a very light dosage of 1.5 grams, so extra brut. So we're letting the wine do the talking. We're letting the grapes do the talking.
Yeah. And the rest of his wines are Parcellaire, number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. And he also does a rosé in amidst that. So this is number 2 of the 6.
And it's the first time in Australia?
Of course.
Banging champagne. Well done. Now for me, we have Jeaunaux-Robin, and we've had Jeaunaux-Robin before. Super cool producer. He is Cyrille Jeaunaux. He's inherited the family. The family have been around since 1971. So you've got some pedigree there. He has converted the vineyards to organics. He's working with biodynamic principles. He tends to favour the meunier grape.
He does. He's in a really interesting pocket in Talus-Saint-Prix. So if you're looking at the Côte de Blanc and you go right to the very edge on the south, and then you just tip into the Côte de Sézanne, he's just in that pocket on the edge.
Yeah, so you've got a more chalky clay marl type of soil. Yeah. You're in a particular region where the Pinot Meunier, which isn't as affected by the frost, spring frosts, survives and grows a little bit later in the season. So you've got some ripe, robust Pinot Meunier style.
Yep.
The composition here is predominantly red grapes. So we've got 60% Pinot Meunier or 60% Meunier. We have 30% Pinot Noir.
And just a little splash of Chardonnay.
And look, a little splash of Chardonnay goes a long way. And I think that for me personally, nothing beats a really, really good Blanc to Noir, but a little bit of Chardonnay to add some freshness and elegance to the Pinot Noir is not a bad thing either.
Yeah.
Amazing little producer. He's a super cool cat. We've had the wines on Emperor for quite some time, but you know, beautiful little producer out of Toulouse-Saint-Prix. So I'm really excited to try this wine because I've actually had many of the Jeaunaux-Robin wines, but I have not had this champagne before.
Yes.
We have the Eclats du Meuliere. Now, I'm imagining that, I don't know what Meuliere means. I thought it would be a vineyard parcel. Eclat in French means the radiance of.
Yep.
Composition of the wine, we are predominance of the red grapes. We've got 60% Meunier, we've got 30% Pinot Noir.
She'll get there.
And 10% Chardonnay.
This presenter job is hard.
For someone with a background in economics and not bad at maths, that was not my strong suit right then. We've got 70% of the wine coming from the 2018 base, and we've got 30% coming from 2017. So only 2 years, 2018, 2017, so still quite sprightly.
I like this. It's got a lovely sort of vinous funk to it. There's some lovely pear, almost cidery nature to it, you know.
Texture. And
good
you know,
texture,
some of our
spice.
club members really love that Meunier style that's quite fruit forward. There's a little bit of tank, there's also a little bit of barrel, so you've got both integrated in this, and the wine's actually got a bit of spice.
And I reckon that's full Malo as well, which is the complete opposite to this. So when you try the wines, for those of you who are connoisseurs are going to be trying that, you'll see that lovely line or spine of acid and that mouth-watering texture, is this is a little bit more generous, a little softer.
But we also have a significant difference in aging on Lieux. And I know that when I poured the glass, I instantly had this, of the Jeaunaux-Robin, I had this big rise of bubbles. And that really is your indicator of the youth of the wine, whereas instantaneously the Pehu-Simonet has got this tiny, almost suspended in time, this very slow rising bubble. So you can see the age of the wine from the bubble. That's a strong observation. And then really that Pinot Meunier fruit forward, a little bit of that, the bruising of the fruit, the crushing of the fruit. And I think that comes from
a little pear crumble. I like that.
A bit of pear crumble, a bit of orchard fruit that's flattened out a little bit. I like it. And I think some of our club members will really like it. I know I listen to you and some of the champagnes that you like, and that Pinot Meunier dominant, which is, you know, Blanc really, is right up your alley. And I think that amazing extra brut, very clean, very lean, but beautiful texture, spice, fruit and flavour.
So here we have it, the rise of the dark grapes. We've got Grand Cru, Verzenay, 100% Pinot. We've got a really interesting little commune or sort of area, which is Pehu-Simonet, doing Meunier and a little bit of Pinot Noir as well, and a little splash of Chardonnay. Two fantastic growers, really focused on getting the most out of their vineyards, very conscientious in their growing and doing smaller production. So this is where we're taking the club this month. I hope you enjoy the wines. We are, as I said last month, but I sort of reiterated for next month, come March, we are unveiling the Emperor Champagne Club.
He's bloody excited. It's been his project. I'm excited about the wines for this month. You know, normally I'm a Chardonnay girl, but I have to say, when we have really well-made Blanc noirs like the Pehu-Simonet, it's a knockout, and that beautiful, perfect use of Pinot Meunier in a wine. You've got a bit more roundness, you've got a bit more fullness. I would suggest that both of these wines are not served as aperitifs, they're partnered with cuisine. There's any number of dishes that would partner with these dishes, and we will talk about this and put some recommendations in your club EDM this month.
This makes me want to wear a tux, eat caviar and smoke cigars.
You can do that too, but I highly recommend that you partner these wines with food. They've got some real body, some real power, some real presence, some real personality. Two awesome producers. Well done, Cyrille. Lovely month. I love to see Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier at its best, and you have done it in these wines.
Thank you.
We hope you enjoyed them as much as we did.
See you next month.
See you next month.
Shut your mouth, sit down. You hear me? May I go box you?
I just need to know, yep, got it. In tank and oak, 228. Yep, all right.
I have no idea what that was.
That's a Capricorn going up the hill. Get started.
Oh yes, click clock.
Click clock, click clock.
Click fucking clap.
Clock all the way to the top.
Right, so we're gonna wrap this. Be I here,